Hello everybody, this is my collection of vintage portable VCRs and vidicon cameras. So this is how you would use them. So if I grab, let's say this one here, this Canon, there is a cord with a with a port on the back here. And what you would do is take your portable VCR and plug them into this port here. That is called an EIAJ port. And so they are hard to find. These portable VCRs can go between like $25 and like $300. It's insane, and I hate it. I have 3 VCRs here, this one, and I have 5 cameras here, 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 and here. I'll start with this one. This is a quasar newvicon camera, unsure of the model number, but this one works fully. This one has great picture, the mic works, the autofocus works. It is great. It has a tile generator. I haven't been able to figure that one out yet, but I got this one off of Goodwill, and it also came with this tuner. Not a VCR, a tuner. I'll talk about that later. This is a Canon VC30. This works almost as good. This has problems with its autofocus. It doesn't work, and also the picture is mostly green. It also has a tile generator, which is cool because it has a flip-out keyboard, like so, with a bunch of keys. The tile generator works. And so, next up, we have the RCA CC010. This one barely works. It almost does not function. You need a really bright light, and then finally you can get a picture, but it's also green, like the Canon. And even if it's almost all black except for that one bright light spot. I'll show you a clip of it later. So it's got some switches on the side for its iris, indoor, outdoor, white balance, and then it's got some fade buttons and zoom speeds. And then it's got this really weird viewfinder. You can flip it around like this, and look how long it is. Normally with these, the CRT is contained into here, not here. So this one is a RCA CC017. This one does not function at all. There is just a blank picture inside the screen, and there's no signal. The autofocus does work, and also the mic. I don't know why, but it has a tile generator. Has a bunch of cool features. Got some controls down there, and then even more up here, and then even more in there. But so, I won't plug this in now, but the camera's completely busted. I got it for $20, wasn't sure if it worked or not. Not a good camera. But this one, this is a magnavox camera, unsure of the model number. This is from late 1985s. It has autofocus, but it does not work. It's got some iris buttons, it got some manual autofocus modes. The screen is like this. It's really weird. It was made in October 1985. So this is also a newvicon. It's on the other side here. newvicon. And this one does not have a cord hanging out the end because it would go in here. I have the cord. It does not work. I'm guessing the cord's busted. It shows no power. Nothing works about it. But I will show you the VCRs now. So this is a General Electric VCR. So this one works fully. I will show you a test of this. So this is the VCR, and it's hooked up to this tuner that I got with that camera. For some reason, that tuner hooks up to this VCR. This is, there's an adapter to hook up to a tuner and to hook up to other power supply methods. And it's really common. Like this one, it ejects and it plays everything. Come on. So here's it ejecting. So you can see it ejects fine. Then it feeds and plays tapes fine. This one is the only one that works fully properly. This one also works with cameras, and so I will show you. So I had a battery. This battery here. It's So it went into one of my VHS camcorders. And so I thought this one took that battery. But so it doesn't. This battery, or this slot, had like a little notch here. And I cut that off. And then I had to disassemble this. So there was a black piece in here that I had to completely rip out so I could fit this battery. Like so. And I could power it. And then I had to 3D print this part. I had to tape on some SD cards. And then this fits over top here. And then the battery actually stays in. Because there's no door. Because I ripped everything out. But this VCR does work with the battery. And it also works with the cameras. So, like, this is how you power the cameras. You flip that way, and then you can grab your camera and record with it. I will show you that later. There's the counter, there's some buttons, and then there's video in and out. There's some mic settings, and then so there's the actual cable port. And then I will show you this VCR next. Here's this VCR. It's an RCA VP170. It's very similar to this. Almost the same. They're both Selectavisions, but this one has a manual eject, and so it is impossible to find a power cord for this thing. I've searched everywhere. I've measured the dimensions for the cord. I can't find it. But, so there's a bunch of buttons here, power, whatever, some battery settings, but in the back here, it might take me a minute to get it. But, so there's a battery. It's a lead acid, of course. But, there's the battery. And so it would plug into a port back there. And so this plugs into the actual DC port. And that's how I measured it. But you can't find this anywhere, sadly. And so I bought this for 40 bucks off of Goodwill. That VCR I bought for $9 off of Macari. And that one works. This one does not. And so this is the most expensive VCR. The third one is I bought for like 25 bucks off of Goodwill. That's after I ordered the Macari one. It's just that one got here the latest. So this VCR here, it is similar to the other one. It is like some type of RCA 170. But so this one like half works. So this one has a manual eject. It powers on, as you can see. There it goes. So the tuner powers on. Everything powers on fine. You can hook up cameras to this. Everything is fine about it except that it shreds tapes. Also, I cannot like hit record on a camera. I've tried switching the polarity switch, but it does nothing. But as you can see, there's the counter, there's some controls, the power and eject, and so this is the tuner. It's got a weird battery in it, but it doesn't work. It's a lead acid battery, so it's completely drained. And I'll show you the cameras now. So I'm testing the quasar camera here. I hooked it up using a quasar power supply. You can buy one of these off of eBay for like $20–30. So I hooked. This is some type of random like radio port. I asked on a subreddit. I'll post it on the screen here. I forget what it is, but so here's the quasar camera. It has a handle here and it has a bunch of controls. But I will show you the screen and other stuff about it. Ooh, fun. But I'll show you the screen now, but OBS just crashed, but so we have a screen here. It's hard to see, but you can see stuff out of it. It's not that big. It's really tiny. It's a CRT. There's some lights down there that tell you if you're recording or not. But as you can see, it appears good on my screen. I'm zooming over there on my other camera collection. As you can see, I mean, it looks somewhat green, but it's not terrible compared to the other one. It looks better in video, capturing it, because I'm recording it on a screen. So this microphone extends, it works. And so if I wanted to, actually, I'm gonna adjust that. So it looks a bit better. Still a greenish tint to it. I just adjusted the red-blue levels using that slider there. And so that's how I fixed that a little bit. But there's like an iris switch that you can do. There's a brightness switch. There's autofocus, which you can hear it working. Like that. That's autofocus. But hold this camera using the handle, and so you can remove this viewfinder. It's not recommended, and I think that's a mic jack input. Yeah. You can attach an external microphone. I don't know why you would want to do that, but like I said, there's a tile generator here. I haven't played around with it very much, but it has a good zoom. It's 12 to 72 maybe? Yep, 12 to 72. It's 6 times, I think. But, so what's good about this camera is that it has a macro mode. I will show you that because it is probably the most awesomest thing about this camera. Actually, all of them have it. But, so this camera is lined up against this VCR. And so as you can see, I'm going to try to focus on that edge. As you can see, it cannot focus. But what if I just turn on the macro mode? Perfect! What happens if I just want to move it closer? Oh no, what will I ever do? Just focus it. You can focus this infinitely forward. I don't know what the science is on this, but it is just insane. There's no good way I could do this. Actually, I'm gonna try this on a VHS tape. Just like stick that in front. But it's black because I can't get enough light through here. Moving the light. Okay, as you can see, I mean, there's a bit of light glare, but you can see the VHS tape. But like, you can focus it. It's out of focus, but there. And so if you put something on the lens, it will focus also, but that's hard to do. Also, there's the reverse button, which is kind of funny, because what you can do is bring this over here and press the reverse button, and OBS just crashed on me. It does that. It's funny. I don't know why you would want to do that, but that's with Mosaic and VHS-C camcorders. Why would you want to do that? Why? I'm talking to you, JVC. I hate that you have a Mosaic. What? But this camera is the best performing camera, and this is the camera that I would use if I'm actually filming with this. So I will show you my other cameras, and I'll show you the problems with the other cameras. Hello, this is my Canon VC30. Remember, it has this tile generator. I will show you all about it later, but it has the white filter, and then it has the white balance. It's all goofy. And then it has the iris controls. It has a 10 to 80 zoom lens. So that's better than the quasar. It has white balance, it has autofocus. The autofocus does not work for some reason. Like, rotating this here, it feels bad sometimes. And then it has VCR controls up here. I've never been able to use them. I think either the camera or the VCR is broken. But here's the red and blue adjustment sliders, and then of course, reverse! But so, as you can see, there is, like, settings. Isn't that cool? You can check if your white balance is low, your light is low, what your focus is, what time you've recorded, and other things about it. But it has another setting here that you can, I think it's gain up. It just makes it a tad bit brighter. That's all it does. And then on the other side it has mic ports and then stereo monocle audio. On the screen it does not have like one of those flippy things so you can actually look at it, but it's black and white, of course. I don't have any color viewfinder ones, but come on. This camera does not like to focus. The one I'm recording does not like to focus. Yeah, it's not focusing. Okay. But normally these viewfinders are really blue, but I'll just play it on here. As you can see, the picture is all green. And so there's really nothing you can do about it because the mirrors in the tube have faded away into millennia. But I'm going to play the tile generator because it's funny. You can turn that off. Like I can go over here and then I can click call. No, that's not. Display. And then, as you can see, it's a bunch of random letters. I can click edit. And then I can click clear. And then I can click size. And then I can go through. And then I can type stuff like BALLS. Balls. But that's how it works. And then, so, I think if you hit memory, it saves it. Actually, no, it just goes through the other ones that you have saved. And the memory system on here is broken. So, like if you turn this camera off, and then turn it back on, holy crap, it saved. But if I turn the power supply off, so the camera has no power. And then I go over here and then turn it back on. It shouldn't have that. Huh. Strange. Every time I've done it, after a while, it just faded to existence. Okay. That's interesting. But there's some VCR controls, title controls. But, like, I'm not going to get into how a vidicon tube works, but there's a lens, and then there's there's 2 mirrors, a red and blue mirror. Both mirrors have faded away on this camera, so that's why it doesn't work. But so the electronic zoom works fine. But it works very minimally. Like any other of these cameras, they are like really slow. Like it's almost unfunny. Like if I were to press this if I were to press this button here, it might look fast, but it's not fast at all. It moves very slow. When with manual zoom you can just hop to 80 and hop back to 10. Also, this has the same macro setting as a quasar. I don't know what it is with these old cameras having that, but it is awesome, and I wish cameras nowadays had that type of function, but of course they don't. Okay, I will show you my RCA CC010 now. This is the CC010. It's not got a lot of controls. It's got mic and then ear and then like headphone jack on the back. So it's got your iris controls, you got your indoor or outdoor, got your white balance, and then you got your red and blue shift. And then so there's your zoom speed and then your fade button. And so it's got a pretty big zoom lens. I don't exactly know what millimeter it is. Actually, I can probably check. 12.5 to 100. Heck. So it's also got that goofy on macro mode. But so it's got a lot of cool stuff in the screen there, if you can see. So I will tell you the problem. As you can see, the whole screen is black. But so if I go towards a light, half the time it works, half the time it doesn't. if you like point it down at the floor and then point it back up at the light. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. So you can see it is not working. Normally it shows up as a little tiny green screen. But even if this camera barely works and there's nothing interesting about, oh, green ball. Where that's coming from, but yep. Camera's pointing towards the light. Green light. That's what happens, and then it just fades away. But the only other interesting thing about this camera is that you can unscrew the lens. And so this is some type of random mount, and you barely can get lenses for this anymore. So there's the sensor. And so you can see these controls, the white balance and then the indoor and outdoor. What's funny about them is there's actually something covering the lens when you do that. And the other one. Ain't that cool? But that is the RCA CC010. So the mic extends really far for no exact reason. And so this is actually the oldest camera I have, December 1981. Okay, that is the RCA CC010. Okay everybody, this is the CC017. So it's got autofocus controls. So you can see the autofocus does work. So it's got zoom, it's got outdoor, indoor, white balance, and then so it's got timer, date, titler, time lapse, and then it's got some other stuff. And then on the back here, it's just got the on and off. Got the mic and then headphones. And then up here is stuff for your VCR to review tapes. Just get your brightness, and then I don't know what CONT is, probably continuation, but it's really hard to get this on video. But in here, this almost looks like the quasar flag. I don't know how to explain it other than that. But so in here, this looks like, so over here it's black, and then over here it's white. It's probably about 1/3 and then 2/3. You can kind of see it. It's really hard to see though. And then there's just squiggles down the front. But if you normally there's different things that it appears. That's the rarer one. But oh, you can see it better now. But if you come over here, kind of. But that's how it looks. And then I'm gonna try to get the other one, but I doubt I can. There, I got it. So I to see, but like the top fourth, it's the top portion is like white, and then the other stuff is black, and it's kind of like flashing, but it's not at the same time. I don't know what's wrong with this. Probably like a capacitor or something fell off. But this has a really cool handle. Also, that's coming off. I need to fix that. It's got a cool handle. I'm thinking about buying another one of these just because I want one to work. There's one on eBay for like 40 bucks, but that's a bit expensive. So for some reason the viewfinder's got like record, and then it's got focus controls and zoom on the back there. You got your polarity switch, and then this was made in, it says so, September 1983. Also the mic extends, not very much. I thought it extended more, but I think it's just getting shorter. It doesn't tell you the zoom length, but it's got infrared autofocus, which is funny. Also, it's got iris controls down here and balance. And it's also got that same macro mode. Oh, it's 12 to 72. And then it's 1.4 aperture. That's good. It's got zoom speed and then fade, and then I don't know what this button does. What? That's about all to this camera. I wish it works so I could show you everything about it. There's barely any videos on this. I want to get a working one at one point, but wait. And here's my non-working magnavox camera. It's got zoom function up here. Your stop button. It's got this weird viewfinder. It's got some controls down there. This is October 1985. You got your auto here, your indoor or outdoor. You got your focus controls, your iris, your aperture, and then it's got your zoom lens, 8.5 to 51. And then it's also got macro. Also, I need to show you something about this. So, there is a reason this does not work. So, I have a theory, because I don't actually know. So, you can take this lens off. And so, this lens is like half of the body. You can take the microphone off. All the internals are in this tiny box. And look how thin it is. There is no way a tube can fit through all of this. And, I mean, it can probably fits to like here. And all the computer parts are smashed into here. Probably like one thing got shuffled around. And everything got destroyed. Like, people shouldn't make cameras like this. Like, I have no idea how you fit that in there. But this is probably a really small and bad tube in here. But it is a lolite, and it's also a newvicon, which might not actually be bad. Got this off of Goodwill, and it came with some other funny things, but they're not very interesting, so I won't show them. But that's all of my cameras for this. Here.